So I have here my new tyre inflator. Comes in a nice little box with some silica gel inside the box, but I've taken the silica gel out already. So open the box out, and here is the compressor and the instructions. Now this one works by plugging into the cigarette socket on your car, or the cigarette lighter socket on your car, or the accessory socket as we call it these days, of course, because none of us smoke anymore, do we? So it's quite a nice connector for the cigarette socket, just the one spring on one side. You push it in, twist it if it's not making contact. Here is the compressor itself. This is the on-off switch for the compressor. You can set a pressure using these buttons here. The M button changes the units, and the plus and minus set the pressure. So you set the pressure you want it to pump to, turn the pump on, and it will pump up your tyre to the preset pressure. That will screw onto your Schrader valve on your car. And you've also got a couple of connectors here that you can use to blow up things like lilos and footballs. And instructions, it runs through everything in English first, and then there's German instructions in the back. So all reasonably straightforward. And there's a little diagram here which shows you what all the buttons are. I think that's about it. Well, it's a bit dark this morning, so I'm using the light to help me read the tyre pressure label. Now I'm plugging the charger into the console in the front of my car. I've already turned the ignition on, which you have to do on this car to make the thing work. Some cars, of course, it's on all the time. And there we are. I'm just setting the pressure to 29 pounds per square inch, which is the pressure I want it to stop at. It actually overshoots by 0.5 and stops when it gets to 29.5. So I'm guessing it'll do that whatever pressure you set. It'll overshoot to the next 0.5 and then stop. So turning it on and it starts pumping. Like most of these things, it's moderately noisy, but there you are. I started off at 25 or something. It's now reading 26.5, and then it carries on, and eventually I stop it at 29, and then on the other tyre I let it go to 29.5. So here we are back with the tyre inflator outside at night, just to have a look at the lights. So if I press on the torch button once, it turns the torch on to red. That's quite a useful working light. Bear in mind I'm looking at it with an action camera. And then another press puts it into a flashing red mode, which can be quite handy to mark your position if you're having to work somewhere where you might be in danger from traffic. And then there's the SOS mode. Not quite sure what you'd use that for, but it's there anyway if you want it. And then a third press on the button just turns the light off, so it cycles from white to flashing red to off.